I'm ready. Let's do it. Coming up, a dangerous fugitive is still on the run after shooting a police officer and a K-9 in Jacksonville. A $10,000 reward is now being offered for his capture. Plus, an East Texas school district cancels classes again for the second day in a row. And polls are now open for Election Day, from local races and bonds to statewide measures. What you need to know before you head out to vote. And former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at 84. His role in the Bush administration shaping a critical era in U.S. history. We'll have more on this coming up. And it's almost here. The Junior League of Tyler's 47th Mistletoe and Magic Holiday Shopping event is back. A perfect way to shop local, give back, and kick off the holiday season. Gina Moores and Hadley Soller will join us with more on the big community event.
And we got rising temperatures this week with lots of sunshine. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast coming up. So stay right there, because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Time to cast your ballot. It's Election Day. The polls opened bright and early just a few minutes ago at 7, and they will close at 7 p.m. Now, as long as you get in line before 7, you will be able to vote. Remember, though, you need to bring a valid form of ID with you. Here in Texas, we've got 17 statewide propositions on the ballot. There's also some local races and bond elections to consider today. Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the morning off. We're so glad that you're joining us. And if you like warming up a little bit, well, that's what the weather is going to do for us today, although chilly this morning.
Oh, definitely very chilly. We got some 30s in some spots this morning, 40s, even some 50s. Kind of a vast array of temperatures. Either way, we're definitely starting off on the cool side of things. We're taking a look live now in Nacogdoches on the stadium of SFA this morning. 37 degrees is that current temperature in Nacogdoches this morning. 36 as the dew point, meaning we are nice and clear, nice and dry. Also, the winds very calm this morning so far. 37 again in Nacogdoches, 48 as we go further to the north in Jacksonville, 48 in Tyler, also 30s in Carthage and Center this morning. And as we continue on through the rest of this morning, we'll see temperatures quickly rise into the middle 70s by noon, and potentially some upper 70s by this evening. Lots of sunshine here, high pressure in control. Also building our temperatures up to the 80-degree mark, possible for Wednesday and even into Thursday. There will be more 80s as we continue into the rest of your 7-day forecast. I'll show you when, coming up in your full forecast.
All right, thank you, Joel. A local blue alert and a $10,000 reward now being offered for the man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and a K-9. Jacksonville ISD will be closed again today. Now take a look at your screen. This is Bobby Michael Dennis. The 64-year-old is now on the Texas 10 most wanted fugitives list. Governor Greg Abbott announced the reward yesterday, saying attacks on our men and women in uniform must stop. Dennis is described as 5'9", about 150 pounds. With brown eyes and black hair. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Jacksonville ISD students were out of school yesterday because of this ongoing manhunt. The crime scene is less than a mile away from an elementary and middle school.
This is something that since Columbine in 1999 and certainly since Uvalde in 2024 or 22 rather, we've planned and we drill and we work very closely with the local authorities, especially if it involves our students being able to safely get to and from school, and that was the main concern.
Jacksonville ISD police chief says that the suspect is believed to be armed with a rifle. That is another factor in the decision to cancel classes.
Rifles are much more accurate and much more deadly than a handgun is, and you know, we have 4,600 plus students and about 850 staff members, and it's just quite frankly not a risk I'm willing to take.
Anyone with information is urged to call Texas Crime Stoppers at 1-800-252-TIPS, or you can submit an anonymous tip online. Right now, Trinity police are still searching for a man wanted in a felony assault case. Now, here's a look at who they're trying to find. Michael Dwayne Wise Jr. Investigators say Wise is accused in an assault from Friday, and he is also wanted on a parole violation out of Dallas County. If you've seen him or you know where he might be, call Trinity Police or Crime Stoppers. An Anderson County man has been indicted for capital murder in the shooting death of his ex-girlfriend this past August. 23-year-old Cyrus Johnson is accused of killing 20-year-old Kia Patrick Rochelle Walker in the Tennessee Colony area. Authorities say Johnson admitted to his grandmother that the two had a fight before he shot her. Walker's body was later found in a parking lot, and deputies tracked Johnson to a rest area near Jacksonville, where they also recovered a firearm and a vehicle tied to the case. Johnson remains in custody on a $1 million bond. His arraignment is set for January 15th. And now to breaking news that we've been following this morning. Former Republican Vice President Dick Cheney has died. The 46th vice president served alongside Republican President George W. Bush for 2 terms between 2001 and 2009. Cheney notably helped lead the country's war on terror in Iraq. According to a statement, he died due to complications from pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. He was 84. Well, voters in several East Texas school districts will see bond proposals on the ballot today, including one in ARP ISD. The district is asking voters to consider a nearly $10 million bond aimed at improving facilities and addressing campus needs. The $9.9 million proposal will split into 2 parts. Prop A would fund classroom additions at ARP Junior High, district-wide security and safety upgrades, renovations, and new school buses. Prop B would cover the cost of a new multi-purpose activity facility for both district and community use. Now, Superintendent Shannon Arrington says the bond would not increase the residents' tax rate.
We begin to realize that, with new students coming in, the direction the state is going, they allot money for various things. They're not really giving more money per pupil per se, but they're allotting different monies. And so this way we can use our bond capacity to refurbish facilities, add to, prepare for the future.
Now, if approved, construction will start in March or April of 2026. CBS19 has put together a voter guide on our website, CBS19.tv. It'll help you with what'll be on the ballot in your area. You can vote at any polling location where you're registered. For more information on times and locations, just check your county's election website. 7:08, time for your morning headlines. Today's day 35 of the government shutdown, tying the record for the longest shutdown in history. The Trump administration says it will use a contingency fund to partially pay out SNAP benefits this month after rulings from 2 federal judges. Now, it's unclear when the funds will be dispersed, with the USDA warning there could be delays. The ongoing government shutdown caused the funding lapse, affecting more than 40 million Americans who rely on food assistance. Now, that includes 170,000 East Texans in 26 counties. A federal judge has dismissed actor Justin Baldoni's $400 million countersuit against Blake Lively. The case was closed Friday after Baldoni's team failed to file an amended claim. He had accused Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, of extortion and defamation claims that the judge first threw out in June. Lively's original lawsuit over alleged on-set misconduct is still set for trial in March. Oreo is serving up Thanksgiving in cookie form, recently revealing 6 holiday-inspired flavors. The limited edition lineup includes turkey and stuffing, cream corn, sweet potato, cranberry sauce, caramel apple pie, and pumpkin pie. Each cookie is fudge-coated and sold together in a collectible 12-count tin for $19.99. And People magazine has named actor Jonathan Bailey as the sexiest man alive. The Wicked and Bridgerton star is likely the first publicly out person to receive the award. There is no money prize in this, Bailey told Jimmy Fallon. It's just the honor of a lifetime. This is the 40th edition of People's Sexiest Man Alive. The first honor was given way back in the day to Mel Gibson in 1985. Looking good as the sexiest man alive there. All right, it is time for our question of the day. Every year it kind of sneaks up on us, twinkling lights, festive music. the smell of cookies. Some people dive right in, though, as soon as Halloween is over, decking the halls and wrapping presents. Others like to wait, savoring the anticipation, keeping that Christmas magic reserved for December. So we want to know, does the Christmas season start in November, or do you wait until December?
I'm so excited. I gotta go with November.
Oh yeah, me too.
For sure.
I've already started decking the halls at my house for sure. There are Christmas trees up. They're not fully finished, although I'm working on that. I lost some steam over the weekend, and yesterday on the way to work, I started listening to Christmas music.
Oh, there you go. And it's also just kind of hard to resist. You're starting to see those Christmas decorations, even in the stores, even as early as October.
Where I fail is my last minute shopping. Although we're about to tell you about Mistletoe and Magic, where you can maybe put that last minute shopping on the back burner and do it early.
There you go. Sounds great.
But if you're getting ready to head out right now, Joel's going to give us a look at those roads. They're not looking too bad.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, weather conditions are great, which is also helping our road conditions as well. Vehicle traffic also in really nice shape this morning as we take a look at I-20. We got 2 hours over to Dallas and an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport, so looking A-OK there. US 69, we got 2.5 hours up to Denison if you're heading that far, and an hour and 30 minutes down to Lufkin so far in this morning. Traffic starting to pick up just a little bit on some of the other routes here. Jacksonville to Nacogdoches is 55 minutes, 40 minutes from Tyler to Longview, 55 minutes from Tyler to Palestine, and Tyler to Athens so far this morning is a 45-minute commute. Now, we're looking at a beautiful sweep here on CBS19 live radar. Nothing too sweep here across the area. It's a beautiful start to the day. We are watching for a couple of areas of fog. We got 2.5 miles of visibility in Mount Pleasant at this time. Maybe some light haze here across parts of deep East Texas. Not expecting any widespread dense fog by any means, but certainly some fluctuating visibilities are going to be out there, which is why I'm giving you yellow lights all the way through 9 o'clock, starting off in the 30s and 40s. We'll all end up in the middle to upper 70s for this afternoon with lots of sunshine and dry conditions.
All right, it is one of East Texas' favorite holiday traditions, and it is almost here. The Junior League of Tyler is gearing up for its 47th annual Mistletoe and Magic holiday shopping event. It is a perfect chance to tackle your Christmas shopping locally while supporting programs that give back to the East Texas community. There is so much to see and do if you have never been. It'll help you usher in the holiday spirit. And Gina Moores and Hadley Soller join us now for more on this holly jolly shopping experience. I have to admit, when I was in the Junior League, this is why I started decorating early every year, because I was already in the holiday spirit, so I thought might as well put my Christmas stuff up, and I feel like y'all will do that for a lot of other people if they come out this week.
Yeah, go ahead and kick off the holiday season with us, and then go home and decorate.
So for those who don't know who the Junior League is and what you do, tell us a little bit more about the organization as a whole.
Yeah, so the Junior League of Tyler, we're a women's nonprofit organization that focuses on volunteerism and strengthening women. So we've been around for 75 years and we've impacted the community all kinds of different ways. So we helped start the blood bank, we helped start Tyler Museum of Art, different parts of Discovery Science Place. We have our community partners that we partner with every year. So we raise money and then we send volunteers out to these nonprofit organizations as well.
And she mentioned raising money, because to fund all of those projects, you've got to raise money, and that's what Mistletoe and Magic is all about. We're close to 53 years away from 50 years now of Mistletoe and Magic.
Yes, so it's one of the longest standing holiday markets put on by Junior League in the South, and we, we're 47 years strong. And Mistletoe and Magic is the very engine by which we fund the projects in our community. So it's our largest fundraiser. It's how we've been able to give back over $9 million to the local East Texas community, coupled with volunteers. So the volunteers amplify our impact with our community partners. And through Mistletoe and Magic this year, we're hoping to add to that impact financially and also with our volunteers.
So people are often wondering, how can I make a difference? You know, I don't have quite the funds, but all it takes is a $12 ticket here to make a difference in the community.
Yeah, I mean, come out to any of our events, to our general market shopping. We have an online auction, we have our chance drawing tickets. We have a lot of ways that you can help for as little as $12.
And what kind of shopping can people expect whenever they walk inside the Brookshire Center to Mistletoe and Magic this year?
There is literally everything from spices to women's clothing to men's items to home goods.
Yeah, children's toys,
Children's
books
toys.
are some of my favorite. Treats, snacks, dips, all the things.
Yes.
Everything you can think of.
And it's not just shopping. You have other events going on during Mistletoe and Magic. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so we'll kick off tomorrow night with Preview Party. We have a 90s country cover band coming. We'll have a live auction with an auctioneer. His name's Josh Joplin. He is a county commissioner here in Smith County. And lots of fun tomorrow night. And then Thursday morning, we have a private shopping event. And then general market shopping. And then, you know, there's something new each day. Probably my favorite is the Mahjong event we're having Saturday night at the Mayfair.
Fun.
And the children's event is also at the Mayfair this year. So truly something for everyone. One of my favorite things to do at Mistletoe is to go ahead and get my kiddos' Santa pictures done on Saturday at Market. We have Elizabeth Thacker Photography and an amazing Santa that's going to be there for pictures. So
Well, if people are wanting to go out and visit Mistletoe and Magic, where can they get tickets?
okay, everything is at mistletoemagic.com.
All right. And can you get them if you want to come to the door as well?
Yes, you can get anything at the door. We'll be happy to help.
And it runs through?
Through Saturday at 4 p.m.
All right.
Yes.
Well, good luck. I hope it's a wonderful event. It always is every year. I know I love it. I'll be there probably
Thank you.
Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up the regular Beast Texas football season. While some teams are eyeing the playoffs, after the break, we take a look at some of those last remaining teams that are still undefeated. We'll be right back.
It's time for CBS19 Sports.
Morning, y'all. Dan Millay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. Lots of sports to talk about from last night. Of course, it was opening night for most Division I college basketball teams, so we'll talk hoops soon. But first, to check on how the Cowboys fared on Monday Night Football. Second quarter here, Cardinals ball first and goal as Jacoby Brissett hits Marvin Harrison Jr. quickly in the end zone. Cowboys would try to punch back. Dak Prescott finding Jake Ferguson, but the ball is stripped and the Cardinals will take over. Arizona could not score though, so they would have to punt it away, and that's when Dallas gave the home fans a reason to believe. Sam Williams blocks the punt. Marshawn Nealon falls on it in the end zone to get the boys on the board. Special teams making special plays last night. In the end though, the Cowboys would fall short again. Cardinals take it 27-17. Quarterback Jacoby Brissett threw for over 150 yards and collected a pair of touchdowns while starting over Kyler Murray. Dak meanwhile, collects just 75 passing yards with no touchdowns, and Dallas just cannot find consistent success. They are now 3-5-1. All right, we'll stick with football. We've got our final Fab 15 before the regular season wraps up, starting as always with the big schools 1 through 5, the same as last week. Undefeated Canton swaps spots with Sulphur Springs, and then Athens continues to rise. Hornets in the 8th spot now, back half of our big schools. Marshall at 9, Longview down to 10 after a 1-point loss to North Forney. Lufkin stays at 11, Van jumps from 15 to 12. Pittsburgh and Pine Tree each down a spot at 13-14, and at the very end, Chapel Hill sneaks in after beating Henderson on Friday. Small schools now, once again, top 4 remain the same with undefeated Troop, Mount Enterprise, and Frankston, who we all talked about yesterday. Then talk about a big mover. Gladewater jumps from 8 to 5, followed by Lovelady, Arp, and Honey Grove, exclusively 9-0s and 8-1s on this screen. To wrap things up, Westwood, who spent much of the season in the number 1 spot, is down to 9 after back-to-back losses. Elysian Fields moves to 10 after its first loss. West Rusk holds strong at 11. Atlanta drops after losing to Gladewater. Then Grand Saline, Edgewood, and Wascom round things out. And, of course, make sure to grab your phone and head to TikTok and vote for where you'd like to see our Under the Lights kickoff show this Friday. It's our last 6:30 kickoff show site game, so we want to make sure that you, the good people of East Texas, have the chance to decide where we're heading. Find Jimmy Searfoss on TikTok to cast your vote. We've already heard from more than 200 of y'all, so keep it up. All righty, hoops time, but we're going to start in the NBA. Rockets hosting the Mavs last night as Alperen Şengün throws it down off the give and go. Later on, Amen Thompson misses the free throw, collects his own rebound, and then throws down the alley-oop at the end of the play. How about that? Second half, Cooper flag sinks the straightaway 3 off glass. The bank was indeed open on Monday night. Then Kevin Durant takes the Rook to School classic back down into the turnaround midi. Thompson, Şengün, and Durant each score 20-plus as the Rockets win it 110-102. All right, and it was opening night for college hoops, but over in Nacogdoches, they actually got things started earlier than last night. The Lumberjacks hosted the Millsaps Majors earlier in the day, picking up the first win of the Matt Brower era, 103-76. And Houston, the number 2 ranked Cougars, hosted the Mountain Hawks out of Lehigh last night, dominating with a 75-57 victory. Houston was led by the veteran, the senior Emmanuel Sharp, pouring in 24 points, shooting about 54% from the field. At College Station, the Aggies got their season started with a 30-point win at 98-68 over Northwestern State. A&M saw 3 different players finish with double-digit scoring totals, led by 18 from Ruben Dominguez. In Waco, Baylor took care of business on opening night, downing Texas Rio Grande Valley 96-81. The starting 5 combined for 88 of the Bears' 96 points, with Tunde Yesufu and Cameron Carr combining for 52. Over in Dallas, SMU cruised to a 96-76 victory over Tarleton State, winning both halves by the same score, 48-38. Consistency is key. The Mustangs also got even 20 pieces from both B.J. Edwards and Kevin Miller. And finally, how about this? Sam Houston hosting Laterno last night out of Longview. Well, it was a long drive home from Huntsville for the Yellow Jackets. The Bearcats took that one 95-59 behind a team-high 17 points from Jacob Coleman. But that's all the time we have for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
Thank you, Dan. We're about to step away for a moment while we break into the over-the-air broadcast with a news update. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon with your morning news update. It is election day. The polls are open. They opened at 7 this morning, bright and early, and they'll close at 7 p.m. And as long as you get in line before 7 p.m., you will be able to vote. But do make sure to bring a valid form of ID. Here in Texas, 17 statewide propositions are on the ballot this year, as well as local races and local bond elections as well. CBS19 has put together a voter guide for you. It's on our website, CBS19.tv. It can help you with what will be on your ballot in your area, and you can vote at any polling location in your registered county. The city of Alto held an emergency meeting last night after officials discovered 2 city water pumps aren't working properly, a problem they say could threaten public health and safety if it's not fixed. The Alto City Council voted unanimously to replace both those pumps immediately, calling it a necessary move to keep the system running at state-required pressure levels. The pumps, located near FM 752, have been manually reset several times a day just to keep the water flowing. Councilman Luke Johnson says the $17,000 replacement cost required council approval since emergency spending is capped at $5,000.
The rest of the town is fine. All the pumps, both water plants are working fine. The school is fine. It's only this small area that has 22 customers that would be affected.
Crews expect to replace both pumps within the next week. Brookshire Grocery Company is helping out local food banks with a $500,000 donation across Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Now, the goal here is to help families who are struggling to put meals on the table right now, especially during these tough times. And it's easy for you to get involved as well. Now through December 16th, donations can be made at checkout at Brookshire's, Super One, Spring Market, Fresh by Brookshire's, Reese's, and Fresh by Reese's. Now, Brookshire says this early holiday effort reflects their ongoing commitment to the communities they serve. All right, if you're getting ready to head out and about this morning, we are warming up after a chilly start, Joel.
We sure are. I mean, great patio weather for sure. You want to get outside at around 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We're expecting temperatures in the middle 70s at that point. Would not be too terribly surprised to even see some 80s in some spots for today. But as we head into the next several days, we'll have a better chance for all of us to see some 80s. For this afternoon, low to mid 70s. Would not be too surprised to see a little bit higher temperatures than what we're seeing here. Definitely an overall warm up as we head into the next few days. Even overnight lows in the upper 40s to even middle 50s by your Wednesday. 80s for Wednesday afternoon. And then once again, upper 50s, even some low 60s showing up Thursday morning. And we'll have another chance to even see some 80s, a little bit higher than what we're seeing here for even Friday as well. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Big cold front coming in Saturday into Sunday. That's the next thing that we're watching for. We can see temperatures go from the 80s all the way down to the low 60s.
Well, looking ahead today, let's get over to Joel actually right now in the Weather Center. He can give us an update.
We've got some very warm temperatures expected for this week. We're talking about 5 to 10 degrees above average when it comes to our temperatures. I'll show you what that looks like in your 7-day forecast coming up on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. A little technical difficulty. Thanks so much for staying with us on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez has the morning off. We're so glad that you're starting your day with us. We do have some breaking news that we've been following all morning long for you. Former Republican Vice President Dick Cheney has died. The 46th Vice President served alongside Republican President George W. Bush for 2 terms between 2001 and 2009. Now, according to a statement from the family to CNN, he died due to complications from pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. This morning, we're taking a closer look at the life and career of Dick Cheney from his early days in Wyoming to becoming one of the most powerful vice presidents in U.S. history. Here's Major Garrett.
In 2000, Dick Cheney was asked by George W. Bush to help pick his running mate. In the end, it was Cheney's name that rose to the top of the list.
He really wanted me to come on board because he thought I could help govern, be part of his team, and that he wanted me involved in everything.
Richard Bruce Cheney was born in 1941 in Lincoln, Nebraska, and grew up in Wyoming. He married his high school sweetheart, Lynn, with whom he had 2 daughters. In his late 20s, he moved to Washington, D.C., where he became President Gerald Ford's chief of staff at age 34. In 1978, he won his first of 6 terms in the U.S. House, representing Wyoming.
I take this obligation freely.
He became Secretary of Defense for President George H.W. Bush in 1989, overseeing the U.S. victory in the First Gulf War. In 1995, Cheney became CEO of Halliburton, the world's largest oilfield services company. It made him a multimillionaire. In 2000, he left the company to join the Republican ticket.
This election is about real choices, that we are talking about the future of our nation.
The bitter presidential contest was decided in Bush and Cheney's favor by a 5-4 decision of the Supreme Court. The September 11, 2001 attacks were the defining moment for the new administration. As the U.S. went to war in Afghanistan, Cheney also urged military action against Iraq.
There is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
Baghdad fell just 3 weeks after the U.S. invasion in 2003, but the alleged weapons of mass destruction were never found, and American forces began a long, deadly occupation. Even so, the Bush-Cheney team made national security the centerpiece of the 2004 re-election campaign.
Because if we make the wrong choice, then the danger is that we'll get hit again.
They won in a close election, but as the situation in Iraq disintegrated and U.S. casualties mounted, public opinion turned against the administration.
George Bush has got to go!
Cheney suffered multiple heart attacks, his first at age 37. He received a new heart in 2012.
You wake up every morning with a smile on your face because you've got a new day you never expected to have.
Dick Cheney, a man who was both soft-spoken and unyielding, became one of the most powerful vice presidents in American history. Major Garrett, CBS News, Washington.
The city of Alto held an emergency meeting last night. This comes after officials discovered that 2 city water pumps aren't working properly, a problem they say could threaten public health and safety if it's not fixed. The Alto City Council voted unanimously to replace both pumps immediately, calling it a necessary move to keep the system running at state-required pressure levels. The pumps, located near FM 752, have been manually reset several times a day just to keep the water flowing. Councilman Luke Johnson says the $17,000 replacement cost required council approval since the emergency spending is capped at $5,000.
Well, to make sure everybody has their service that they're paying for, and also from a safety standpoint, if that were to come in, if there is a catastrophic failure to any of these pumps. But we've been systematically replacing water pumps and gas pumps with the city for the past couple years now.
The rest of the town is fine. All the pumps, both water plants are working fine. The school is fine. It's only this small area that has 22 customers that would be affected.
Public Works Director Carrie Black says the issue affects just 22 customers, as you heard there, served by that smaller pressure system, while the rest of Alto's main water plants remain fully operational. Crews expect to replace both pumps within the next week. Now, when that happens, those 22 customers may temporarily lose water service, and a boil water notice will be issued at that point as a standard precaution. If you're heading to the polls this morning, you will see 17 constitutional amendments on the ballot. Many aim to lower property and business taxes, fund water infrastructure, and support Texas State Technical College. And some would limit capital gains and inheritance taxes, expand exemptions for veterans, spouses, and the elderly, and disabled homeowners, and provide relief for homes damaged by fire. Other measures focus on public safety, parental rights, judicial oversight, and dementia research. Voters will decide on a wide range of changes that could impact Texas schools and state programs. Diboll ISD is asking voters to consider a $12 million bond that would fund several renovations at the junior high and make maintenance improvements district-wide. District leaders say this bond will help the district get ahead of its maintenance needs that have been planned, but financial challenges caused delays. The bond would take care of these issues without any significant impact on taxpayers. Some of the renovations include remodeling the band hall and the library, address walkway flooding, and other concerns.
This project, this bond proposal is basically a Goldilocks proposal, which means it will take care of the needs of our students and our staff, but also will not have a negative impact on the local economy, taxpayers, or the citizens.
The tax impact would depend on a person's home value and age. The last bond passed at Diboll ISD was about 14 years ago. And Troop ISD is hopeful that a bond proposal being voted on can bring changes to both the high school and elementary. The $22.2 million proposal would provide upgrades at both locations, the high school receiving a new science and CTE classrooms, plus a gymnasium. The elementary would also receive new classrooms as well as upgrades to the kitchen and cafeteria. And voters will also decide a major issue in Nacogdoches County, a $75 million bond that would replace the county's aging jail, built more than 35 years ago. The current facility was meant to hold about 300 inmates, but now holds closer to 400, with more than 100 housed elsewhere at added expense. The bond would pay for a new jail designed for roughly 570 inmates, with more space for medical and mental health care and improved safety for both staff and inmates. We are still waiting for a panel of federal judges to decide if Texas' new map will stand. The redistricting map, that is, faced pushback from civil rights groups who claim it dilutes the voting power of Black and Hispanic voters by splitting up majority and minority districts. Even if the judges rule against the map, Texas isn't the only state trying to change its boundaries. 3 other states have finished redrawing their congressional maps: Missouri, North Carolina, and Ohio. Utah's recently redrawn map is going through a legal review, and Indiana's Republican-controlled legislature is about to begin a special session on redistricting there. Now, if you would like to get the CBS19 voter guide sent straight to your phone, you can text the word VOTE still to 903-600-2600. Well, Brookshire Grocery Company is helping out local food banks with a $500,000 donation across Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. The goal, well, it's to help families who are struggling to put meals on the table, especially during these tough times. It's easy for you to get involved too. Now through December 16th, donations can be made at checkouts at Brookshire's, Super One Food, Spring Market, Fresh by Brookshire's, Reese's, and Fresh by Reese's. Brookshire says that this early holiday effort reflects their ongoing commitment to the communities they serve. He's just 12 years old, but his YouTube food reviews that is, made him an overnight sensation. Then, without warning, his account was locked for being underage. Stephen Goen shows us how this young Texas creator plans to bounce back bigger than ever.
For 12-year-old Brock Nelson at home in North Houston.
Welcome back to my channel. It is Brock from Banging with Brock.
All it took was that personality and an internet connection to find success making food reviews on YouTube.
It's just like eat dinner with me, you know what I'm saying?
It's something he's done for only about a year, but even some of his earliest videos, eating spicy ramen, or this one, reviewing a Big Mac,
y'all are the best,
have gotten a lot of views.
Yes, it blew up instantly. Like the first 10 minutes, it was 10,000 views.
And you were just replying to
to comments?
Yes, but there were so many. I couldn't do anymore.
His channel reaching more than 80,000 subscribers.
I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So it was a surprise.
A big surprise for Brock's parents, Christine and Harith, who monitored the account but had no idea it would grow so fast.
It can be a little nerve-wracking, but exciting at the same time because we know what he's doing is rooted in nothing but goodness.
But that momentum came to a stop a few months ago when Brock suddenly couldn't log in and the family got a notification from YouTube that the account could be disabled.
Because you violated YouTube terms of guidelines.
When we saw that we had the notification that his account was going to be shut down if we couldn't verify his age of being 13 or older.
Initially, YouTube flagged Brock's account because of his age. Later, officials couldn't verify parental supervision, even though their email was linked and they helped manage the channel.
For him to get monetized, we had to show that we were his parents and we were monitoring it. So we thought that would cover everything.
When we reached out, YouTube confirmed the account had only been hidden and ownership could be transferred to parents. However, the Nelsons say they're still waiting for that fix.
Back and forth.
And then you get instructions and the instructions wouldn't work.
But I was devastated.
But now, with Brock turning 13 in just weeks, they're planning a comeback, even if YouTube won't restore the videos or subscribers.
I was already planning ahead, so I know I had a plan to try to do another one or try to make something better.
Brock says they're prepared to launch a 2.0 channel, hoping to raise funds for new equipment to make better videos. The goal, the same as before, connecting with people, spreading joy, one bite at a time.
It's a setup for something even greater.
Coming back bigger and better. If you believe, you can achieve.
Well, I like that he's not letting it get him down. That's right.
No, he's got a plan. He's a man with a plan. I love it.
We all need one. All right, on a quiet farm in Michigan, the gentle sounds of the country set the stage for something special. Meet the cows of Mini Mitten Acres. Fluffy, friendly, and surprisingly therapeutic. What started as a hobby for owner Mickey Sherrod turned into a haven where people can relax, reconnect, and simply find some peace. Touching and caring for these animals who seem oh so chill, right, can trigger oxytocin, a bonding hormone that reduces stress and brings calm. For some, these tiny cows spark memories, joy, and connection. Healing, it seems, can come in all shapes and sizes, sometimes even with a little bow right there.
I love that. I don't think I've ever seen a cow that fluffy before.
And that miniature sized, right?
Right, so small.
Maybe that's what makes them so chill. They're mini size. Although in my house, the smaller the dog, the more
rambunctious it is sometimes.
Maybe I just didn't train them well. But those cows seem to be like, just whatever, come
Just
like hang out with me, love on me.
Come on over, man.
It's all good.
It's all good.
All right, if you thought sweet and spicy was bold, get ready for swangy and swavery. Some new names always, right? Nestle's new food and beverage trends for 2026 are out, and they are predicting a flavorful future where texture takes over weird, wins in the grocery aisle, all right, and your morning coffee could take you on a global trip. From creamy cold foams to spicy sweet noodles, looks like taste buds are in for an adventure next year. I was looking at some of the products. There's like Korean spicy barbecue noodles, which seems sort of normal.
Sure.
Sweet chili chicken and broccoli. And then, but this is kind of different. Carnation, kickin', jalapeno flavored evaporated milk.
Wow, that is a mouthful. Evaporated milk.
For me, I don't like the texture to be too daring.
Yeah.
That's where you lose me.
Right.
At daring textures.
Sure, yeah. Honestly, I mean, this is definitely almost like experimental, right?
Yes.
It's just like, okay,
Flavors,
let's try something. You
I
know?
love like a bold flavor.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Texture can be a lot of what you know.
What you don't like about a food.
Exactly, absolutely.
All right, Thanksgiving's coming early to Subway. On November 13th, the restaurant chain is releasing its Festive Feast collection featuring ham, turkey, and chicken sandwiches piled with Subway's all-new cranberry sauce and savory turkey stuffing.
Huh, okay. I might try that. It looks pretty good, honestly.
I might try it. It doesn't look too bad, but again, it's all those flavors mixed into one. There are some things I combine on my Thanksgiving plate, like cranberry and dressing I like together.
Sure.
Sweet and like savory. I also do the cranberry with the turkey, but like I don't
All
not
at
with
once?
not with bread.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you know technically stuffing has bread in it.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you want to get on a technicality, I guess. Yeah, but
Maybe
man,
I'll try it.
Yeah, that's a lot of flavors at once for sure.
It really is, but maybe it's just the right combination.
Maybe it is. I'll have to try it. Sounds good to me.
It sounds pretty good to me. All right, well, as you get ready to head out, it's chilly. We've been talking about that, and we're just excited to hop on this East Texas roller coaster of weather.
That is exactly right. We're basically on the lift hill at this point. Temperatures are going to be warming up into this week, but by this weekend, we're expecting our strongest cold front of the season, and I'll show you just how cold those temperatures are going to be as we head into this weekend. No rain in Nacogdoches, I promise. There's no rain. It's just blue skies. There's no rain there. 46 degrees in Nacogdoches right now. East-southeast winds 6 miles per hour. Data is really fun sometimes here. 37 degrees in Nacogdoches, 40 degrees in Lufkin is what we have so far, 41 in Center. We also got some 50s on the board here. I mean, overall, I mean, it's just a very cold start to the day, but that won't last for too much longer as those temperatures make their way up into the upper 60s. We got some low 70s for this afternoon. I would not be too terribly surprised to see a couple of 80s pop up for today, and especially going into tomorrow. So temperatures, again, going to be warming up very nicely into this week. We're also kind of keeping an eye on some of the visibilities out here. Mount Pleasant, we got some very low visibilities because of some dense fog. We got 1¼ mile visibilities there. A few light hazy spots here across the area, but all in all, basically Mount Pleasant is the only area that we're watching for any dense fog, not expecting anything too widespread as we head into this afternoon, or the rest of this morning, I should say. Visibility's looking A-OK, lots of blue skies, clear weather. I mean, it's just fantastic here. 76 degrees for the high today, 80 for sure as we go into Wednesday, and 80s will continue into Thursday. And we'll take a look at how long that temperature trend will last in your 7-day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Joel. Well, Dick Van Dyke is turning 100 next month. Coming up, learn how a new documentary celebrates his iconic career.
Thought of myself as a comedian, really. I'm an entertainer and a song and dance man.
Why look so awfully tragic? Put on a happy face. Dick Van Dyke turns 100 next month. The feature-length documentary, Dick Van Dyke 100th Celebration, includes some of his most famous performances and reminiscences from Van Dyke and many of his friends, co-stars, and collaborators. The doc is in theaters December 13th, Van Dyke's birthday, and 14th. Locations and tickets at fathomentertainment.com.
Santa's coming to town! Oh my God!
You can't have a winter entertainment memorabilia event without Elf. Prop Store's latest live auction features more than 1,300 items, led by Will Ferrell's costume from Elf. Star Wars fans may want to bid on Boba Fett's blaster from The Empire Strikes Back. Also on the block, Harrison Ford's fedora from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Christopher Reeve's cape from Superman 3, and the late Alan Rickman's personal shooting scripts from Die Hard and Love Actually. The auction takes place December 1st through the 3rd. You can check out all the offerings at PropStoreAuction.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Boy, those are some really cool items, man. All right, let's take a look at the forecast as we go into this week. Man, those temperatures are going to be above average by about 5 to 10 degrees. That puts our temperatures in the low 80s, so very warm as we head into this week. Thanks to some high pressure, bring our temperatures above average. That will be changing into this weekend, however. The strongest cold front we've had so far this season is expected to move in as we go into Saturday into Sunday. We could have temperatures actually below average for this time of year by about 5 or 10 degrees or so. We could potentially see temperatures in the 60s earlier next week. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast in just a second, but we're basically on the warming trend. In the meantime, we got temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 70s. Would not be too surprised to even see some upper 70s on the board for today. South wind holding on, high pressure staying put. I mean, it's just a recipe for some increasing temperatures going into the next several days here. Even overnight lows are going to be even warmer for tomorrow. We got upper 40s, even some 50s showing up across much of the area, then 80s as we go into the afternoon for your Wednesday. Then temperatures again in the upper 50s and low 60s for Thursday. Just keeps on getting warmer here. Then for Thursday afternoon, I do think we'll have a chance to see some 80s once again into the afternoon, despite what you see here. And in the process, I mean, we are just dry and just sunny. I mean, there's no rain in this forecast here. The next 7 days, nothing to expect rain-wise here. Now, the next system, we got that cold front. We also have a trough of low pressure in our upper levels. This is housing in some cold air. We could have some of the coolest air we've had so far this season. We actually have a chance for some snow in the Great Lakes. Some of this air will be spilling in to East Texas. We won't be seeing any freezing temperatures or snow by any means, but certainly some cooler temperatures going into the second half of the weekend. This is what it looks like in your 7-day forecast. So 80s all the way through this week. Cold front comes through, drops our temperatures from the low 80s all the way down to 65 for Sunday and 60 for Monday.
Well, for some of us, it sneaks up on us. The twinkling lights, festive music, the smells of cookies in the air. Of course, we're talking about the holidays. Some people dive right into Christmas as soon as Halloween is over, decking the halls, wrapping presents. Others like to wait and savor the anticipation of the holiday, keeping that Christmas magic reserved for December and keeping, Thanksgiving for November. So we want to know, you can go over to our Facebook page this morning. Does Christmas start in November or do you wait until December to get in on the season's happenings?
Now, I will say I grew up, putting the Christmas lights up as early as November 1st, but we would never turn them on until the night of Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
So we would wait. I mean, we would decorate, we'd get ready, basically take the month of November to get ready, and then by Thanksgiving night, boom, Christmas.
What about the trees and whatnot inside the house?
On the inside, I think we also wait for the Thanksgiving day.
I used to wait for Thanksgiving, but then as we had the ladies on earlier from the Junior League and Mistletoe and Magic, we do that in the beginning of November, and so that is when I started to put up my Christmas tree, because it really did. It got me in the holiday spirit, and I was like, I want to feel like this at home as well. I don't want it to be over.
Right.
I would get so sad when Mistletoe and Magic was over, and I was like, okay, I want to feel that inside my house. So right now, there are a bunch of elves, me, in my house, putting up Christmas trees. I've put the ones in the kids' rooms, and they don't seem that interested in putting them up this year, but they will. They'll get in the holiday spirit.
Yeah, they got some time.
I'll just blare that music and they'll have to.
Exactly, exactly.
They're
There you
busy
go.
teenagers. All right. All right. We're about to step away for a moment while we do our over-the-air broadcast news update. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon with your morning news update. Well, a local blue alert and a $10,000 reward are now being offered for the man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and a canine. Jacksonville ISD will be closed again today. Now take a look at your screen. This is Bobby Michael Dennis. The 64-year-old is now on the Texas 10 Most Wanted Fugitives list. Governor Greg Abbott announced the reward yesterday, saying attacks on our men and women in uniform must stop. Dennis is described as 5'9", about 150 pounds with brown eyes and black hair. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Jacksonville ISD students were out of school yesterday because of the ongoing manhunt, and the crime scene is less than a mile away from elementary and the middle school.
We planned for this. This is something that since Columbine in 1999 and certainly since Uvalde in 2024, or 22 rather, we've planned and we drill and we work very closely with the local authorities, especially if it involves our students being able to safely get to and from school, and that was the main concern.
Jacksonville ISD's police chief says the suspects believed to be armed with a rifle, another factor in that decision to cancel classes. Anyone with information is urged to call Texas Crime Stoppers at 800-252-TIPS, or you can do that anonymously online. An Anderson County man has been indicted for capital murder in the shooting death of his ex-girlfriend this past August. 23-year-old Cyrus Johnson is accused of killing 20-year-old Kia Patrick Rochelle Walker in Tennessee Colony. Now, authorities say that Johnson admitted to his grandmother that the two had a fight before he shot her. Walker's body was later found in a parking lot, and deputies tracked Johnson to a rest area near Jacksonville, where they also recovered a firearm and a vehicle tied to the case. Johnson remains in custody on $1 million bond. His arraignment is set for January 15th. And a former live-in Tyler nurse has pleaded guilty to harming the 8-year-old girl she was hired to care for. Gabrielle Toon admitted to pushing, slapping, and even throwing the child, who has multiple disabilities and a serious medical condition, including a kidney transplant and chronic lung disease. Court documents show the girl's grandparents found videos of Toon aggressively handling her in their Tyler home, even slamming her onto a bed. Toon's sentencing is set for Friday. Now let's get a check of your weather.
We got 70s in store for today. We got 80s even in store for the next several days. I mean, these are temperatures that are definitely above average for this time of year, but we think those temperatures will be eventually going below average into this weekend. I'll show you that 7-day forecast coming up here, but absolutely gorgeous weather for the patio today. 75 degrees and 76 degrees for the high for today. I think we'll definitely exceed some of these numbers as we take a look at our temperatures over the next several days, dropping down into the 50s for tonight and then 80s for tomorrow afternoon. And then warming up once again in the upper 50s to low 60s. We'll have another shot for 70 to 80 degree temperatures over the next several days until a big cold front comes through Saturday into Sunday, going from the 80s down to the 60s.
And now for news before you go this morning. Jacksonville ISD students are staying home again today. The district chose to cancel classes a second day as authorities search for the man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and their K-9. Bobby Dennis is now on the Texas 10 most wanted fugitives list. He's described as 5'9", about 150 pounds with brown eyes and black hair. He was last seen wearing all black and could be driving a 2000 GMC Sierra. It's gray with Texas plates, TRW 3919. Anyone with information is urged to call Texas Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-252-TIPS, or you can submit an anonymous tip online. It is Election Day. The polls opened at 7 this morning, and they will close at 7 p.m. As long as you get in line before that 7 p.m. time, you will be able to vote. Also, make sure that you bring a valid form of ID with you. Here in Texas, 17 statewide propositions are on the ballot this time around, as well as local races and bond elections. And Brookshire Grocery Company is helping out local food banks with a $500,000 donation across Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. The goal here is to help families who are struggling right now to put meals on the table, especially during these tough times. And it is easy for you to get involved too. Now through December 16th, donations can be made at checkout at any Brookshire's location. All right, many of you getting ready to head out maybe to work right now. How's that weather treating us this morning?
Well, with it being Election Day, I'm sure probably somebody voted for some warmer temperatures, because this is exactly what you're going to be getting over the next several days. Talk about above average by about 5 to 10 degrees. We got 80-degree temperatures all the way through Saturday, and then the strongest cold front of the season will be moving in Saturday afternoon into Sunday. So this will drop our temperatures from the low 80s all the way down to 65 for Sunday. And then we have overnight lows in the upper 30s for Monday and low 60s also for the high on Monday, which means most of the day is expected to be in the 50s. How about that?
That is wild. It's a wild ride we're about to be on.
It is a roller coaster and a half, that's for sure.
Well, check this out. Wendy's is serving up some holiday cheer with the new limited time Snickerdoodle Cookie Frosty Fusion.
Ooh.
I mean, it looks pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
It is their classic vanilla, or you can have chocolate Frosty that's blended with sweet cinnamony Snickerdoodle sauce and cookie crumbles on top. It's available now, so whether you're sharing the joy or you're going to keep it all to yourself, the Snickerdoodle Cookie Frosty Fusion is the treat that everyone maybe deserves to just try this holiday season.
Cinnamony.
Do you like Snickerdoodles?
I do.
I am, strangely enough, not a huge Snickerdoodle fan, but those little cookie crumbles might have got me.
Yeah.
Would you do it with chocolate or vanilla Frosty?
Both.
You do both?
I try each of them.
You try each of them. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I think I'd go with vanilla, but if I'm having a Frosty, I like the chocolate variety, which I know is weird for me because I don't like chocolate.
That is interesting.
I feel like the Wendy's chocolate is like mild.
Mild.
You know, it's not like too chocolatey.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I have not had Wendy's chocolate in a while, so I honestly don't remember too much. But, you know, I am a chocolate guy. I probably would try that first.
And then go to vanilla
afterwards.
afterwards.
Go to vanilla.
Well, either way, if you taste it, let us know about it over on our Facebook pages because it looks really yummy. We're so glad you started your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. We've got the noon show coming up a little bit later here on CBS 19 over on the Plus as well. Keep us here for the latest news, weather, and sports throughout the day. And we hope you have a fabulous Tuesday. Here's what you can expect in the lineup on CBS 19 Plus today.